why I love this podcast is because it's one thing to experience culture, but it's another thing to archive it.
Everything is in divine order.
There's no success without an L, first and foremost.
What's up, man? It's Adrian Per, and you are tuned in to Creative Ambiance.
What up, people? Welcome back to Ambiance Podcast. Back for the third time. Sitting next to me is that boy, Adrian Per, the first three-peat guest that I've ever had on the show, and for good reason. How you feeling, brother?
Man, first of all, thank you. This is crazy, actually, to be the first one to do it 3 times. I'm honored.
Bro, there's a reason for it, too, because I feel like it's a popular demand thing. Every time I have you on, one of the most viewed, one of the most listened to podcasts, and I think that's because a lot of people resonate with what you're saying. And also, it's kind of stirs some shit up, too. Like, if you look at,
I just feel like if nobody's going to say what I want to say, I feel like if I feel what I'm saying, if that makes sense, there's got to be other people who feel the same way. But people are scared to get canceled. I'm not scared to get canceled. You know what I mean? I won't say really, I won't say terrible shit, but like it's the PC culture that I feel like scares people away from being them true selves. And it's like, you know what? Might as well be the guinea pig.
What is the PC culture?
Political correctness.
Political correctness culture.
Yes.
Okay.
It's just the, it's a little sensitive nowadays.
It is very sensitive nowadays.
Yeah.
I feel like you say things that people think, but like you said, are too scared to say out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's all it is. Like, I don't think I'm being any different. I'm just being somebody's true self that they wish they could be or what they could say. And if they feel it, it's like, I hope it encourages them to be themselves and live their true self.
Yeah. You know? Why do you think it is that people are too scared to speak on the things that they may be thinking about? Is it like a societal pressure, or is it that they don't want to be judged by others? What do you think is the reason?
I think it comes from validation. Validation in different ways, whether it be your boss or your peers, or you want to fit into a certain friend group, or you aspire to be part of a certain group. It's okay to have your own views. I'm friends with, whether it be a whole bunch of Republicans or Democrats, far left, far right. You know what I mean? Like, not to say I don't completely judge them by their views, but ultimately I judge somebody by their interaction with me. And as long as it's not too radical and it doesn't harm me or harm the people that I'm in immediate contact with in my circle, then who am I to judge you for your views,
Yeah.
Like, I don't think somebody being homophobic is a reason for me to not see what this person's viewpoint may be, whether I agree with it or not. Are they going to be my friend? Maybe not. I'm not homophobic, right? Let's say somebody who wore the MAGA hat. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of friends who've worn the MAGA hat. It doesn't change their interaction with me. Now, if it starts spilling into their workplace or they do inappropriate things, then that's where I'm like, okay, I can't mess with that. You know what I mean? But under no circumstances do I feel like somebody's views is a reason why I'm not open-minded to hear where they're coming from, or, try to understand their perspective and why they may feel that way.
Yeah. So just kind of staying open-minded with people's point of view on things. And I think that's like refreshing to hear, in today's age, especially with things in the past 3 or 4 years become so divisive. Yeah. I think it's important to be listening to both sides. You know what I mean? Because we're kind of in this type of culture where it's like you got to be on one side or the other, and if you're on that side, you have to agree with all the views. But every side is flawed. Like
every side, every side has their own propaganda. Like the Nazis didn't know what they were fighting for. A lot of them, like the propaganda that the German country was preaching to them, be a hero for your country, not knowing what they were doing was really fucked up.
Yeah,
like I'm not saying I empathize for those people who did what they did, but what they were being told, like the brainwashing behind, like what they must have been told to feel that way or act that way, like by no means is it acceptable, right? And now I say that, please. I am not anti-Semitic whatsoever.
Yeah.
But, I say that because I seen this movie, what is it? All Quiet on the Western Front. And all these war movies are told from the perspective of the Allies. And this movie was told from the perspective of the Axis in World War One.
Okay.
And it made you realize, like, man, these people don't know what they're fighting for. Just like all these people from Russia, right, invading Ukraine. A lot of them have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
We're both just people at the end of the day, you know what I mean? Just like, the famous story, the World War I story, where it was Christmas Day, and they're like, it's Christmas. They're both on the front line. They ended up just playing cards with each other, exchanging cigarettes. Because at the end of the day, we're just people, man.
Yeah.
And, I think every side is brainwashed to a certain extent about what their views are, what's correct, what's not. And, I just like to stay open.
Absolutely, man. I'm the same way. I like to stay like kind of just open-minded to both. I have a lot of friends similar to you that are on both sides. And I think it does you a service to get opinions from both sides and just like really allows you to kind of cultivate your own thoughts and opinions. You know what I mean? Rather than like adopting the opinions of somebody else. Like you get to actually form that for yourself, which is, I think, what being a human being is all about.
Yeah, man. You have to know what the bad is to know what good is.
Yeah.
To what good is to you,
Because that line is different for everybody. You know what I mean? Like you said, like if somebody's homophobic, like you don't condone that, but at the end of the day, like that's their view on things. But if you were in fact gay, then that might be like a line where it's just like immediately fuck you. You know what I mean? Like that type of concept or scenario, I feel like applies to like every different, I don't know, topic for everybody.
Yeah. Like going back to that homophobic topic, like I don't support it. I think we should be inclusive of everybody, every sexuality, every gender.
Yeah.
But you never know how they were raised. You know what I mean? They could have been raised in a family who was completely homophobic and they were never taught that. So you can understand why they're like that.
Yeah.
I'm not the person, I might not be the person to change their point of view, but I can understand why they might act that way. And I have faith that people can change. My views have changed along the way. We're humans. We're constantly evolving.
And I wanted to speak on that too, because the last time you came on this podcast, it was 2021. The one before that, it was 2020. And I feel like just your own life has changed so much since those years, right? You were but you were a different person in 2020, different person in 2021, and different person in 2023. And it's been really dope to watch you grow into different stages of your life, and so much has happened. So how would you describe like this current state of AP compared to, I don't know, those previous times that you came on the show?
I feel like I'm the 2018, 2019 AP all over again.
What do you mean by that?
I feel like I'm in so many radical things that happened in my life in 2022. Life-changing. And I've just been kicked into a new gear. When I moved out here in 2018, just back up against the wall, I'm figuring things out. And I feel like I'm not the only one in that place. There's so many creatives, business owners, entrepreneurs that are like, yo, what's going on? There's like a shift in 2023. I feel like there's a resurgence of a grind. It feels different. Everybody's just re-inspired, re-motivated. And I think a lot of this has to do with, this is the first real year back open completely.
That's very true. Because last year, or the year before that, was like half, right?
Somewhat. But like we were getting used to it again and we were all wilding out.
That's true. It was different when it was outside opened up. It was expensive. It was,
I mean, not only that, is like, we were wilding. Like really for those who could, we were experiencing vacations again. We were traveling again. Work was booming, and now it just feels like regular life. That's like true. We lived in such a fairy tale, because when things started opening up, end of 2020 and then 2021, if you really grinded it out, you were working. Like shit was popping. And that's because we were making up for what we lost in 2020. In 2022, if you're already on that wave, you riding it.
Yeah.
2023, back to reality. It feels like where we were 2018, 2019. You gotta, it's constantly adapting, reinventing yourself. Like, you can't just keep doing the same thing over and over. So that's just where I feel like I'm at. Like, how do I adapt? I haven't reached my ceiling as a director or a photographer or a professional in any means, but if I don't adapt, like, I'm gonna get left behind.
Yeah, and that's I feel like it's a constant theme that you've kind of preached in the past, is that work ethic takes consistent development and takes consistent showing up every single day and not getting content with what's happened. Because for you, I feel like you've achieved some really dope milestones for yourself and you've done some really dope things in your career, but it seems like you're not letting that get to your head and you're keeping your foot on the pedal, right?
Yeah, man. Like, I'm grateful for everything that I've been able to do, everybody who's ever given me an opportunity to shine, but yeah, I don't know. I treat my wins like my losses, and I'll say this: I hate losing more than I like winning, and that might sound toxic, but it's real, man. Like, I've taken so many L's, and it just continues driving me to just excel, and I've had business deals go wrong. I've had, so many video treatments that I've sent in as a director that don't get picked. Bro, I literally direct probably 3 to 5% on what I write on.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, that's every director. I feel like I'm lucky because I know music producers who are super lit that maybe only like one production of theirs out of like 1,000 that they make.
Wow.
Might be a hit.
Wow.
Might be. Everybody's just kind of just throwing darts at the dartboard,
Yeah.
This creative field is not for the faint of heart, and that's just what it is. Everybody can make a podcast. Everybody can be a photographer. So it's like, I just gotta constantly figure it out as I go.
Yeah, and I feel like you're doing that currently with like a lot of different ventures that you have started either in the past year or or previous to that, right? You have this new wave of TikTok that you're doing, which I want to get into definitely. I know you have a new LLC you opened up, so definitely want to get into that. But first, I wanted to touch on some of these pivotal changes that you're talking about that happened in 2022. I know that there's a few of them, but one of them is the passing of your father, right? Yeah. So if you're okay with talking about it, can you talk about how that kind of impacted your life last year and what that's done to you in terms of shaping you into this like new version of yourself?
Yeah, man. Actually, I feel like a lot of what's driving me now is because I'm filling in the shoes that my dad left. So it's not just me that I got to show up for. I'm showing up for the shoes my dad left behind, and that was, he was supporting my mom. He was supporting the family in different ways, and at first, it crippled me. I felt like it was going to cripple me. But I like to find the silver linings in everything. And not to say I wasn't motivated prior, because I was going.
Yeah, you were.
But it just kicked me into a gear that I didn't know existed. I knew eventually it was going to happen at some point in my life, but it happened when I didn't expect it. It was just so sudden. Like just one morning he was there and that night he never said a word again. So quick.
Crazy.
Yeah. And it just, nothing about his passing necessarily made me more motivated. It was more so I just got to show up in an even bigger way than I did before to make up him not being there for my family physically or financially, whatever way it was, emotionally, I got to be there for the both of us. And I think it's been my biggest motivator.
Kind of like doing it in his name, right?
Yeah.
I feel that, man. And it's kind of hard because like you explained, something so expected, how are you supposed to prepare for something like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
You
as
don't,
our
man.
generation, like, I think we're the same age, somewhere within like the 3 to 5 year gap. It's like you don't expect shit like that to happen until you're probably like well into your 40s, 50s, 60s, right?
Yeah, man.
So
He was healthy. He never had a heart attack, never had a stroke.
wow.
Like, it just happened. It
Yeah.
caught us by surprise. The event. I'm actually in the process of like making a film about it. I have
Wow.
like a. Yeah, I somewhat. No, actually, that whole day was a blur. That happened on the day of my gallery
Oh shit.
in San Francisco.
That gallery you did. Was it the
Yeah.
We Are Golden
No,
gallery?
it was,
Or?
it's called Para Esa Cultura, the
Okay.
one I did in October. It was during the one I did in San Francisco. So, long story short, I wake up in the morning of my gallery, see my mom, didn't see my dad. I think he was like still sleeping or whatever. Saw my dog, told my mom, hey, I'll see you guys there tonight. I'm going to go prepare for the gallery. Went to go grab my coffee and my breakfast, made my way to the gallery in San Francisco. I got a call from my mom. She was crying. She's like, your dad fell and he like can't get up. And I was like, I'm turning around. I'm absolutely turning around. She was like, no, it's okay. Like, I'll just see you there later. I was like, what are you fucking talking about? I'm turning my
Yeah.
ass around. Like, I got one dad. I could do a fucking gallery whenever.
Yeah.
Turn my ass around home. I arrive home probably like maybe 7 minutes. I'd been driving for like 15. I get back in 7. I was driving my Jeep like 120.
Sheesh.
Bro, I was running reds. I was going around. I was zooming around motherfuckers, man.
Damn.
Yeah. Man, the only difference between me and an ambulance, I had no siren. I pulled up home, seen an ambulance there, went into my parents' bedroom. The paramedics were already there. I said, Dad, what happened? And he was like, you can't really make out what he's saying. They're trying to pick him up, and I guess like he fell or whatever. And I was like, Dad, you can hear me, right? Like, are you good? And he responded. He was making noises. He had a stroke. He never had a stroke before. So I was like, okay, he's going to be fine. He'll recover from this. And I was asking him questions. I was like, can you see me? And he was responding just fine. They put him out on the stretcher, taking him out the front porch. And I looked at him. I was like, Dad, don't bullshit me. You're good, right? Like, you can hear me. And this is the first time I had ever seen vulnerability in my dad's eyes.
Wow.
Ever in my fucking life. And I said, okay, if you could see me and hear me, how many fingers am I holding up? And it took him like 30 seconds maybe to answer. And he was like, 2. I was like, you weren't guessing, right? Like, don't bullshit me. Like, don't do this just so I'm not scared.
Yeah.
And he was like hard to respond, because when you have a stroke, like one side of your brain is shutting down or there's a blood clot. So one side of his body was paralyzed.
Wow.
They put him into the ambulance. And I said, I'll see you at the hospital. Like, I didn't give a fuck about my gallery at this point.
Right. Yeah. How could
Right?
you?
Like, I think I had like over 1,000 people RSVP'd to go. I was ready to shut that shit down, man.
It must be crazy. Sorry to cut you off, but to go from like a state of just being excited and just have this like mindset of this beautiful gallery that you put together in the name of your culture as well, to just complete 180.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Of emotions.
That's all that mattered to me at this point. Like, I didn't give a fuck. Like, I could do the gallery the next week. I didn't have to do it at all.
Yeah.
It's just like, sorry, my family comes first. And they closed the door. And for some reason, I decided to go around to the side. I was like, I want to say one last thing. And I was like, Dad, I love you. I'll see you later, okay? And it took all the fucking strength in him to muster up whatever his last words might have been. He was like, is your gallery ready? Are you ready? Did you set up? And I said, no, I was on the way, but I don't care anymore. I'm not going to go do that. And he couldn't say anything after that. And they closed the doors, and that was the last words he ever spoke.
Ever? Like,
From there,
For
it just
you.
declined. Me and my mom did not hear a single word from him ever again. Like, brought him to the hospital, took him to the ICU, did a couple surgeries. 5 days later, he was gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what does that mean to you, that last message? That
To fucking keep going. Like, how is it the last 3 words? 5 words, whatever. Is your gallery ready? Is your gallery ready? 4 words.
4 words.
How is the last handful of words that you say to your kid something that has nothing to do with I love you, I'll see you later, or take care of your mom for me? Or it had everything to, it's just like him. It's just like, keep pushing forward.
Yeah.
You got this. Granted, he didn't know it was going to be his last handful of words, but it was just so symbolic to me.
Yeah.
And it just let me know, like, yeah, fuck, I got to go through with this. Like, if this is the last thing my dad's going to say to me, I got to go through with it, man. Like, there's no bitching out now. I show up to the gallery, not in the mood for it. Just, I think there was like 900 something or so people that showed up. It was crazy. Hometown loves. It was nuts, bro.
Back in the
Like,
hometown too.
bro, it was packed beyond belief. And not to shade the gallery or whatever, but I couldn't wait for it to be over. I just had to put on a face like, thanks for coming. And everybody was like praising me. I love what you're doing for the culture. I had to do all these interviews. And when I say I had to do all these things, like, I put myself in this position to do these things, and I'm appreciative of it. But that's the last thing on my mind, man. I could not wait to go to the hospital that night.
Of course.
And just leave. And everything was over. Pulled up to the after party for like 5 minutes. I was like, I can't be here. Y'all celebrating, whatever, pop your bottles, but I can't do it.
Was the gallery successful too?
It was incredible. Like, I can't believe 900 something people came out, bro.
Yeah.
I felt like a fucking rapper. You know what I mean? I felt, bro, it was nuts.
Seen that entourage.
Bro, I don't even have an entourage. I feel like it's just me, Shayna, who's incredible. My girlfriend, she wasn't able to make it at that. She was out of town, but I mean, I really just be rolling up with like 3-4 people.
So
I guess that's an entourage, but like,
it's all supporters basically.
yeah, it's just like family to me. And yeah, that night was just painted differently.
Yeah.
It was a groundbreaking night for so many different reasons, but I'll always look at that day as a day that gave me this newfound extra strength. Like, that's a day that my life changed.
Absolutely.
In different ways. It was sent me to a new chapter.
Yeah. And post that, how have you proceeded? Like, are you, this new mindset you have, is it like a new perspective? And can you kind of explain what that new perspective is like for you?
My perspective hasn't necessarily changed, because the things that I'm doing now, I've always believed in. It just kicked it into a higher gear.
Okay.
As for family, I've always loved my family. I've always put them first. So not much change in that aspect. But when it comes to, I ain't got time to play no motherfucking games with nobody. That was already what it was, but now it's just
Amplified.
Yeah, 10
Okay.
times. Like, if it ain't serving no real purpose, I ain't got time for it.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're like even more intentional now with just going overdrive with everything that you got going on.
Yeah.
Man, and if you were already doing what you were doing at the level you were doing it at, man, I can't wait to see what the fuck's about to come next with this amplified drive that you got right now.
I hate that I gotta go to sleep.
That's crazy. That's how you feeling right now.
Yeah, I hate that I gotta go to bed, man. If you didn't die, you know what I mean? If it didn't feel so good to sleep, I wouldn't. Right now, at least, I got so much ground to cover. I mean, eventually, I want to work myself to be free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's the thing. Freedom isn't free. You know, time costs money.
Yeah.
And the longer you stay in this perpetual motion of, I will work a little bit so I can enjoy a little bit, the harder it'll be later in life to just be free. I seen my dad work until he fucking died.
Yeah.
I don't want to be there. There's so many people who are there, and you know, and not to say people who are doing that is wrong. I've always had that mindset. I don't ever want to be working that late in my life.
So with that said, what is an ideal life for you later on? Like, what do you want to obtain? Do you want to obtain the type of life where you're retiring at a certain age and you have passive income supporting you, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. Building the companies that I have now, hoping one of these ventures stick, because I mean, they're all moderately doing well.
Yeah.
But I'm still dedicating all my time to it. You know, it's not at a point yet where it's sufficient by itself. Mm-hmm. So I don't know when it'll happen, but I'm building towards that.
Yeah. And can you, I mean, we kind of talked about this last time you were on too. The importance of creating multiple streams of revenue for yourself as you're doing right now, right? To set yourself up to get to that stage in life. So can you explain like how you've done that with your own situation currently?
I mean, I have this thing called a REIT, R-E-I-T. It's a real estate investment portfolio. You don't own houses outright to your name, but it's like a mutual fund.
Okay.
Or not a mutual fund. It's like an ETF.
Okay.
But for property. I still have my stocks, which stocks aren't doing too hot right now, but I don't plan on selling them.
Yeah.
And I just have my companies that I'm growing, you know. Mm-hmm. I want to get to a spot where I could just direct what's going on in the company and have people do the editing and directing and producing so that I could just be hands off. I don't want them to hire me for a director every single gig. Like, I want them to hire the company because they know if I have my hand within this company, you know you're going to get that caliber of quality and storytelling because you trust all of my directors, all of my photographers, videographers, and whatnot. Like an agency, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you realized that like you going 1,000 miles per hour and going so hard is not sustainable for a long term? Is that why you're kind of wanting to just figure out ways to step back and like let your reputation and your money work for itself?
I mean, I always knew that.
Okay.
I'm going 110 miles per hour until I'm like, I don't know, 40. Because the last thing I want to do is be working until I'm 65.
Yeah.
Like working at a moderate pace. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with that if that's what you do. Mm-hmm. I never had a problem with that. I just don't see myself working until I'm 62, 63, 64, living for the weekends. While I'm healthy, while I'm young, I'm going to work myself away and enjoy it at a younger age. Hopefully, by the time I'm in my 40s, I'm more free.
And you've always had this mindset, you said, kind of?
Yeah. Like, okay. I work this hard so I can I work this hard so I could be free earlier in life.
Yeah. Like you said, money, I mean, freedom isn't free.
No, it's not, man. Time costs money. Like, your free time really, there's a price to pay. And that's just what it is, unfortunately, you know. And fortunately and unfortunately, you know what I mean? We all seen communism doesn't work, you know what I mean? Like, you get shitty quality all around. But, yeah, I never intended to grind 100 miles per hour until the day I died. No. Fuck no.
Fuck that.
I grind this hard just so I could be freer later on, man. And when I'm going to just reach a finish line sooner. That's all.
Do you think, though, like you're saying this now, right? Do you think that at a certain point, let's say you get to that golden age of like 40, whatever that age comes, do you think that you're just going to be so like gung-ho on just like the process? Like, you just love the process of getting successful or just winning in your field, that you're gonna get to that age and just gonna be like, damn, like my appetite has kind of grown. You know what I mean? To a bigger thing. You know,
Hell no.
no.
I do not want to live Elon Musk's life, bro.
Okay.
I want to live the chill, easy life. Me, my wife, my kids, whenever that may be in the future, my family, bro, and just fucking chill.
Okay.
Just that's always been the goal.
Yeah.
Like if I can move to a fucking island or wherever it may be and just sit with my big wad of cash and my businesses are booming, bro, that's the goal. Because I mean, you can't do that without setting yourself up for it. You can't just fucking live freely wherever it may be without having to worry about how to pay for shit, man. Like I'm gonna work my ass off, build that up, and I'm out of here.
Yeah.
Bro, the day that I become fuck you rich, all social media deleted.
Jeez, that fuck you money's different.
Yeah, man. I don't know why these rich motherfuckers be out on Instagram flexing. If I was that rich, I ain't got it.
You be hit away.
I'd be tucked. Don't ask me for shit. I ain't, cause yeah, man. That's the goal. It's always been the goal. And that's why I work so hard right now. You know, and that's always been the motive.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's gonna make it that much sweeter when you obtain that status for yourself, because you know you put the work in to deserve the lifestyle that you created for yourself, you know? And I think we both know this, that a lot of people want what comes with that, but aren't willing to put the work in to get there, right? And you're putting the work in now. So when motherfuckers see you at 40, 45, like, and I want to talk about this too, like, oh damn, like Adrian, he must have had a rich family. He must have been set up with all of these opportunities, this and that. You know what I mean? Like, you can't say that. Like, you've been putting in the work and you're not even halfway finished. Like, you're still, as you're saying, going into overdrive.
Yeah, man. I'm surprised every time I get those comments, but I mean, it just lets me know I'm on the right path. I'm in the right direction for people to think I must have had like super rich parents or a really privileged upbringing. It's funny. My mom made a comment to that post. She's like, "You should let them know that we was homeless 10 years ago." Yeah, man, shit's crazy.
Yeah.
But you know, it's been a grind. It's been a fucking grind.
Yeah, and speaking on the freedom piece, I think this is like applicable to a lot of the listeners. That's why I'm going to say it, is a lot of people are looking for that dream job that is going to allow them to, quote unquote, like do what they love for a living, right? Which is a very rare status to achieve. Like, I feel like you have to, with that said, you have to work a lot of jobs that you fucking hate to get to that job that you, quote unquote, love to do. And you don't have to work a day in your life.
Yeah.
But also for some people, maybe the dream job isn't necessarily doing what you love for work. Maybe it's doing something that you may not love, but it allows you to live a life that you love outside of that job. You know what I mean? That's what I've been thinking about also too.
I agree. Get you to whatever gets you to that end goal, whatever's most efficient. For me, this is efficient.
Yeah.
Like, I want to get to the finish line faster, so I'm going to do it this way. There's no one method that's the end all be all. You know what I mean? Like we said last time, man, if you work in corporate, if you're working that 9 to 5, don't quit that shit, man. Don't be stupid.
Yeah.
You know, like, get them benefits, bro. I know a lot of graphic designers or other creatives that work these jobs that they might not necessarily love. But you do that long enough and you fuel your creative side, whatever it may be, you know, it lets you create without worrying about paying for your bills. And we spoke about that last time, you know, it's just whatever, by any means necessary, bro. And for me, this is my any means necessary. It just depends where your end goal is at.
Yeah, and I feel like you know this too. It's like you're very blessed to be able to do something that you do love, because you do love filmmaking. You do love that different aspects of it. So it's even sweeter when you create a life for yourself like you have, that where you're making a sustainable, great amount of money from something that you also love.
It is. It's definitely a blessing, but don't get me wrong. I done a lot of video making and photo taking for shit that I can't stand and I would never do anymore. Weddings, can't do it.
Really?
Fucking can't stand it. Respect to those who can.
There's a lot of money in it.
There is, but see, it's one of those things. Money ain't shit. Like it's not shit for me to put myself in a situation to work being micromanaged by somebody's mom or a bridezilla or a husband, whoever it may be. Like, dog, you are hiring me for my look, for whatever it may be. You saw the photos that I took from this one wedding. I'm gonna do it this way. You is not about to micromanage the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
No.
Those are probably the most difficult clients, is the wedding clients.
For me, it has been. Okay. But I mean, I've also done some boring, soul-sucking corporate shit. Where it's like, I would look at my watch and be like, damn, you telling me only 30 minutes went by these past 3 hours? Fuck am I doing here? Yeah. So, I've taken a lot of L's, man. I've been a fucking cable wrangler, a light plugging inner, a fucking C-stand setter-upper. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it all landed me to where I am today. I'm blessed to have gone through all the bullshit.
Yeah. And you have to do that for yourself, right? Like, you have to work those shitty jobs that we're talking about to put yourself in the position. And I think it goes back to the freedom part that you said right now, right? Like, you don't have to necessarily hoe out for jobs, like for gigs. Yeah. Like, you created a situation for yourself where you can pick and choose the jobs you want to take. And that's a sense of freedom that not everybody can obtain.
Yeah, man. It took a lot of years to get to that, though.
Yeah.
A lot of trial and error, man.
How many years you been doing it now?
I first picked up a video camera probably 2010, 2011.
2010, 2011. Wow.
I didn't start doing it full time maybe until 2014.
Okay.
And then I quit my last job. I worked at a candy store. I think 2014 or so. And I said, I'm never working a no motherfucking job ever again after this. No.
Wow.
Yeah. And I just went full balls to the wall. And, I had a little pushback from family, but, I think they're all right with it.
They are. Yeah. And it takes a certain type of belief in yourself to go for something like that, right?
And delusion.
Okay.
Delusional confidence.
Delusional confidence.
It's real shit, man. Like, me in 2014, I had the same confidence I do now. I think a lot of it is what drove me into these rooms, into these opportunities. Like, I believed in myself. I think an upper hand that I had was having somebody believe in my vision the way I believed in my vision. Like, I would talk to, whether it be a commissioner or an executive producer or whoever it may be, to give me these opportunities. Like, nah, I promise you, I'm the person for this. Yeah.
And whether or not did you know you were the person for it, or is there an aspect to it of you like playing the part? You know what I mean too? Even if you're not quite that person yet, like just playing the part of you being the person for that job, if that makes sense. Is that?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I wasn't always prepared, but one thing I always knew about myself is I'm finna learn. I'm gonna learn on set, man. Like, when I did this thing for, what was it? For Juneteenth. Okay. Right. Did this live performances and shit for Leon Bridges. Oh. Right. This was a huge program. You know what I mean? They had the dude from Good Morning America. They had Barack Obama. They had it was a huge primetime television program. I get on that set as a director. There was probably like 70 people on set waiting for me to give them the direction where I want shit placed, just so many things. The live stream aspect of it, the content capturing, the interview portion. Was I ready for that? Fuck no. Fuck no. So you telling me this motherfucker over here who's 45 and has shot every single TV special is going to ask me these fucking important questions about my direction? Was I ready for that shit? Fuck no. But, I'm in these rooms and on these sets for a reason. So I fucking might as well believe that I can. Yeah. Rather than being scared that I might fuck up. You know what I mean? Like, you don't step up to the free throw line if you LeBron Actually, I take that back. I am no fucking LeBron. I am not the GOAT.
Make that clear.
You know, you don't step up to the line as like a Klay Thompson, you know, on a game 7 elimination game and you're down fucking 1 point and you got 2 free throws left. You don't step to that free throw line. Am I capable of making this shit?
That's a good way to put it.
You know, like
Yeah.
I'm stepping up to the plate, ready to hit that home run. Even if I fucking struck out two fucking at bats before, I'm ready to fucking make that free throw. Even if I missed before, bro. Like I just have the mentality like, if I keep throwing these motherfucking darts, bro, that shit gonna hit the bullseye eventually. So if I can carry on with that mindset, I mean, it can't hurt me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, unless I'm not improving, then yeah, it could hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
But if I am self-aware enough to know where I fuck up, to understand where I can improve, then I think you're only holding yourself back if you don't think that you're capable of being in the positions that you're in.
That's a good point. And if you put it that way, it's like you're here for a reason. Regardless of whatever situation that you're in or wherever you're at, if you're self-doubting yourself, I feel like you should always tell yourself, like, you're here for a reason. You know what I mean? You're in that room, whatever that room is, for a reason. They put you there. You were brought there. And I think I had an episode with Joe not too long ago, and he kind of talked about this, the aspect of potential. Like, did you get yourself to that room? Yes. Like, was it hard, whatever you had to do to put yourself in that position to capitalize on that opportunity? Like, yes, you did that for yourself. Now it's like, what are you going to do with that situation? I feel like that's what separates the good ones from the great ones. It's like, can you capitalize on what you did to put yourself in that position, right?
You know that Eminem song, Lose Yourself, that intro?
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. What is it? It's like,
Lose yourself.
no. There's like that iconic monologue that he says. What is it?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
He sees the moment. Some shit like that. Man, I gotta hear it now, bro. Hold on, wait, you gotta play it. You gotta play it.
I'm pulling it up.
Just the intro of Lose Yourself, bro. You gotta approach life like Rabbit did, man.
Yeah, like an 8 Mile. You right? He's over here doing that. Let's see what he was saying. Yeah.
That's facts.
That's facts right there.
Yeah, man. So when I'm stepping up to the fucking plate, man, I better knock that shit out the park, bro.
Okay.
Every time.
Every single time.
Even if I land short, bro, at least I gave it my best effort.
Yeah, and that's all you could kind of ask of yourself too.
Yeah. I mean, I've not everything I direct or everything that I do is a home run, but I gave it my best effort.
Yeah, like you were saying earlier, it's kind of like playing your odds too. Like, obviously, every single performance, whether you're an athlete, whether you're creative, is not going to be a banger.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But what is that going to do? Stop you from doing it?
Right. If you know you're capable and you're growing, why stop yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about this. This, I don't want to say it's a challenge. I would just say it's a new movement you're doing with this TikTok content 365 movement you got going on. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing and what your goal is with that?
Honestly, my goal with this that I wrote down in 2023, my goal with this that I wrote down in December of 2022, by the end of the year, I wanted to have 10,000 TikTok followers. I thought it was going to take the entire year to get to that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
that's all it was. I wanted to do an experiment by casually posting on TikTok 365 days. And this is what happened. All of this shit is a surprise to me. You know, I've had Instagram since what, 2012?
yeah,
I had Instagram since 2012, and it took me,
11 years.
11 years to get 22,000 followers or so, whatever it may be, 21,000. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Right. I never really cared. Like, I'm working with some of the hottest fucking talent and brands in the world. So why do I care to put myself out there? Like, I'm happy doing what I do and just I'm grinding away. And I thought it would be a fun experiment to take everything that I implement in my professional life, but now I'm not just the director, but I'm the talent as well. And it's been interesting.
For the first time in your life too, right? And actually, you were a musician before this, and you were the talent. So,
But I actually explained it in a documentary. I never intended to be a rapper. I never wanted to be a rapper in my later years in life. I literally made that because I had no other friends to make music videos around.
Oh, so you're like practicing on yourself, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And people just so happened to like it. And so I continued on with it. But it was just another way to take video selfies. How else, bro? And that's how I started making my own music videos. I mean, that's how I started making music videos for others.
Word.
People would ask me, yo, who does your music videos? I do. I set it up on a tripod, or I tell my homies to hold the camera a certain way and move it a certain way. I write out the scenes and I edit it. They were like, yo, could you make mine? And I would just do it for free for all the homies. And eventually I started getting paid $150, $200
For a video.
A full fucking music video.
Wow.
Yeah. Bro, I was doing $150 music videos, bro. I thought getting paid $400 to do a music video was a lot of money.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Top price went up, bro. Are you kidding me? Yesterday's price is not today's price.
that was crazy. And I stopped rapping. I was like, I ain't got to fucking rap no more, man.
Yeah.
I got friends who could really rap. Mm-hmm. And you guys are going to pay me like $200 to do these? Say less.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
And that was a part of your journey.
That was part of it. And so, yeah, it was like my first, all those years combined has culminated into what I put into my TikToks now.
Yeah.
People keep telling me to do YouTube, man. I'm not going to do YouTube. So stop asking me to do YouTube. I work a real job, bro. So I can't do TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, man. It's just too much. I think one day I will do YouTube, but when I'm not doing the 365 thing, the goal is to make 1 or 2, maybe 3 pieces of intentional content in a month, and I just live, do my thing, work my job. But in order to build this following of people seeing, it's all a new audience actually, which is crazy. Mm-hmm. In order to show people I got what it takes, like I just got to flood the streets.
Yeah. When you're not just flooding it, you're flooding it with quality shit too.
Thank you. Kind of, I think.
Bro, no, I mean, if you haven't checked his content out, for those of you listening, whether you don't know who AP is or whether you just haven't seen his TikTok yet, I'll drop a link in the description. But I mean, the man is a filmmaker, but his shit is like A1 and it's refreshing. It's not like the other TikTok videos you see. It's refreshing content. And it's quality too. So how much work does it take to make these videos? Because I mean, you have to be doing it consistently for obviously the entire year. So what are some of the challenges that come along with this TikTok content?
I only want to stay a couple weeks ahead because everything's always changing. Whether it be current events or how I'm feeling or where I'm at. I could just shoot everything and be a month or 2 ahead of time, but so many things change, So I want to stay current. That's step 1. Step 2 is my goals are aligned properly. Like I have the way I approach it is different than content creators. And thankfully for me, I've had great guidance. Shout out to Ray, shout out to Shayna, shout out to my girlfriend. They've all had a hand in steering me into the right direction.
How so?
My goal isn't to go viral. My goal is just to be me. My girl Sam, she'd been telling me to do this since last year. She's like, your life is interesting. Like you do XYZ that people want to know the behind the scenes of. Why don't you make content around it? And there was such a negative stigma behind content creator that I had in my mind.
Yeah.
That I've seen. It's just so played and so tired, especially in this space, Yeah. And I'll get to that later. Like the originality aspect, like, bro, I'm a motherfucking film director. The fuck I look like being a content creator. And that's just real, man. And I'm not looking at it as a content creator. I'm just making films, I'm showing my photography. And I think people can sense that it's genuine. I've had So Shayna is part of my team also, and she plays so many positions. She's pushed me since last year. You know, she's project managed, been my publicist for so many of the projects that I've done in 2022. She had just allowed me to, I don't know, just stay on track. You know, like we talk every day. And just big shout out to Ray. He's a talent manager. And he just gave me really good advice, you know, like what my why is, you know. And my biggest gripe with the space of video content creators or photography content creators, everybody wants to go viral. Everybody wants numbers. There's a viral piece of content, people consume it, and they recreate it. Somebody has a preset pack. They see somebody else is making a lot of money off of this preset pack. There's like hundreds of the same preset pack that's just floating around getting rebranded.
Right.
And none of that is inspiring. Like there's so many different forms of, this is why you should buy this camera. This is why this camera will make you better. This is why you should get this. This is why I did to achieve this. And everybody is just a bunch of different spawns of the same person.
Yeah.
It's played. And my favorite YouTubers, man, like they don't post consistently anymore. And so many of them are so burnt out. I'm happy Casey Neistat is back.
Oh yeah.
Dude.
One of the GOATs.
Incredible.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of started posting again, but you know, it just, so I wanted to make something through my perspective, through my lens, who's a kid that felt like I had I'm not a Nepo baby.
Yeah, it's a fact.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're in the film industry, entertainment industry, whatever it is, you're grandfathered in. You know, some of the biggest folks are grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Rich parents funded their production company, bought their cameras. A lot of these popular TikTokers that I see in this space is of a certain, how can I say, you know, fuck this. I'm not going to get canceled. A lot of these motherfuckers rich, white, and privileged. You know, I've seen. So when people tell me like, oh, you must be another one of them rich kids whose parents paid for all your gear so you can just create art that makes you no money, man, that shit's a compliment, because that's the people I'm competing against. And I just want to tell folks who are like me, you know, whether you're a kid of an immigrant family, person of color, or you might not have to be a person of color. It's an uphill battle. But look at me, bro. Shit, I worked with Nike. Shit, I worked with Adidas. Shit, I fucking worked with some of the hottest artists in existence.
Facts.
And that will ever exist.
Yeah.
If I could do it, so can you, man. If I could figure this shit out, everything that I've ever learned about this film industry shit and how to use a camera and storytelling was free by trial and error. And I'm just trying to be the person I wish I knew when I was 18 or 19 and lost with a fucking camera, thinking that better gear was going to make me better films when it doesn't, and just guide the younger me in the right direction. Like, look at me. I am the hope. Like, thankfully, there's more of a, what is the word? Not variety. What's something that's, what's another, diverse.
Okay.
Thankfully, there's more diversity in this space nowadays. But,
I see what you mean now. Okay.
Like, stories from people who have a following isn't very diverse. You know what I mean? And now, you know, I enjoy the inclusion. Like, I would love to see what somebody who doesn't look like me makes. It's such a interesting look into their perspective, into their culture, whatever it may be, and through their lives. I mean, that's what storytelling is, whether it's with a photo or a video.
There's more of an appetite for that type.
For me.
For you, yeah.
For me, you know, I think a certain demographic of people love seeing unrelatable skiing in the Alps you know, vacation and wherever, you know, in Turks. There's a certain demographic for that. But me and Chaz, my business partner in Loopy Watermelon, man, I feel like we represent the bigger piece of the pie who aspires to be where these people are. And yeah, I just want to be an example of, if I can do it, if we can do it, me and my friends can do it, like you can too. And this shit's free, just trial and error, man.
Yeah.
And I'm not gatekeeping no information. And I feel like people can sense that.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of your content speaks towards too, right? Like you're giving free game on whether it's filmmaking advice, you're breaking down like videos that you've directed and how you did it. You're giving details about how you got certain shots done, and then also like you're also replying to everybody. I noticed within the videos too, so you're not just like acting salesy, like you're trying to sell somebody something. Like you're just here to actually help people out.
Yeah, man, that's a goal. You know, whether it was, you know, with my galleries prior or my Instagram posts prior, I just try to be the role model that I wish I knew when I was at the younger and lost ages, ripe ages of not knowing what to do with my camera and this talent I wanted to build.
Yeah.
And that's my concept. It's just simple, just free game.
Free game.
If I learned it for free, honestly, you can learn it for free. It's just patience, perseverance, practice. That's a lot of P's.
It's a lot of P's, pushing a lot of P's right now, AP.
Man, that's honestly all it is, man. You know, and mind you, I'm not at the top of the industry, but I can live a comfortable life. You know, you can show your parents, like, this is a real job. You can really do this. And you don't have to be self-made, bro. You could work corporately under whatever company or umbrella doing some creative work. Like, it exists. You don't have to follow what your parents' idea of what the American dream is, because the American dream is different for everybody, you know. And there's so many people who I run into who are my age that say, man, I wish I had made that career path decision back in the day and did something different. And now they feel like they got to live this life of mundane misery until the day they die, when honestly they don't have to. I mean, it's scary to change, but you know, I think some people, all it takes is that little push. Like, you could do this, because I've definitely received that push by a lot of people, and who am I not to continue paying that forward to the people who helped me along the way.
Have you ever been in situations where you wanted to quit, or you didn't know if you could do it anymore?
No, never reached a burnout point. No.
Wow.
I love this shit too much.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's been points where I hated the job that I was doing, like you were saying, but no, never at one point did I feel like giving up.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think going back to what you were saying too about those that are saying things about you that aren't true in regards to being set up for this life that you have now, and receiving some type of funding from like your parents or whatever, and taking it as a compliment. I see what you're saying, because back before you were popping or just having the sort of stature success you have now, like folks weren't saying that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the reason why they're saying that now is because you've created a life for yourself that allows people to even hate on you in that way. Like, look at LeBron, bro. How many people hate on LeBron? If LeBron wasn't LeBron, if he was a bench player, if he was a six man, like,
nobody would care.
Nobody would be saying this shit about him.
Yeah. So I take it as a compliment. It's like, sick. If that's what it looks like to you, cool. But man, I'll work hard, man. I'll work hard because I am scared of being broke again.
Yeah, especially when you came from that life. Yeah. You know what it feels like. You don't ever want to go back to it.
Never.
So I was gonna ask you, what type of content can we expect from you on that channel? I know some of it you talked about was free game. I know I've seen some different short films and whatnot.
I have a rough plan, but as corny as it sounds, I just want to make what I enjoy.
Okay.
I don't want it to feel like I'm forcing out my subject matter.
Okay.
Like when I went to this Fast and the Furious event, I was genuinely excited. It's like sick. I'm gonna just take iPhone footage, make a voiceover, make a vlog.
Like no shot list going into it, nothing like that.
No, it's just I had crafted, an intention behind it. My intention was, you're my plus one, but and it just came naturally. I don't have a set plan. Yeah, no, I don't. I have rough ideas. I want to make original short films for my TikTok, and that's just about it. It's like what you said. It's free game. You ain't never gonna find me selling no motherfucking classes. You ain't never gonna find me selling shit to you that I don't use myself.
Yeah.
And I don't use nobody's shit, so I ain't selling you nobody's shit. Like there's so many people always ask me, how do you color your stuff? What's the LUT pack? Share it. LUT is stands for lookup table, and I don't fucking use them, man. All these people who are selling these LUT packs and color presets, they're not professional colorists. I mean, there are some, and they're fucking great, and I've tried them. But they differ from camera to camera. A lot of times they're made for Red cameras, RE cameras, but I'm not shooting with that shit on a day-to-day basis. Fuck no. I'm using my iPhone, and truth be told, all those films that you've seen and that everybody's seen, $1,500 camera.
Wow, all of them.
4 years old. I got it in 2018. I shoot in 4K. I don't even shoot RAW. It doesn't even have autofocus. I just set the shit up on a tripod. No flashy transitions, no gimmicks, no overlays. Just, I don't know how familiar you are with edits, but there's no flashy effects.
Yeah.
It's just cuts.
Straight cuts.
Just cuts. It's all you need.
So what do you think it is that differentiates your content from others?
Telling a story.
Okay.
It's always been what it's about. Even back when I was shooting music videos for myself, there was a purpose, there was an intent. When I was shooting music videos for, even like the local artists back home who are not local anymore, you know what I mean? We would have video concepts. Let's start out with you waking up and trying to get to this party, and you run into all of these things that get into your way, stopping you from getting to this party, and you finally show up to this party and the party's over. It's a story people want to follow. I mean, that's the reason why anybody continues watching a movie. There's a formula to storytelling, which I'm going to break down eventually, but it's really simple. If you read books, watch movies, it should be really, really simple for you to tell a story. It has almost nothing to do with cinematography. It helps. Absolutely. Coloring helps, but
those are just tools, right?
Yeah. When it comes down to the story you're trying to tell, you got to make it interesting enough for them to want to follow. This could be read or it could be watched.
Yeah.
However way it's consumed, it's all about telling a story from your perspective.
I think that applies to so many different aspects too, in so many different mediums. Like you take that same concept, you can tell a story through music, you can tell a story as you do through film, you can tell a story on a podcast like I do, you can tell a story through
dance, at so many things.
Through painting. Yeah. So really what I'm taking from that is applying storytelling to whatever the medium is, and that's what kind of will separate you from the mundane content
the mindless content. Oh, man, there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how many people do I used to actually own this camera, the Fuji X100V. Love that camera. Fuji don't. I still want a sponsorship by y'all, Fuji. I still want to be a creator partner, whatever y'all fucking have. I love Fuji cameras. That's all I use. But there's been this resurgence of using this older Fuji digital camera that emulates film. And everybody's bought it thinking that it's going to make them a better photographer. And everybody does this trend of, let me show you my camera. And then the pictures that I took with this camera, all the fucking photos look exactly the same.
Yeah.
It tells me no story other than you know how to copy somebody. There's no different perspective.
Yeah.
So my goal is to tell my stories from my perspective. And not to say my perspective is better, it's just different.
Yeah.
Like if I handed you a camera, your story that you tell is different. If you understand yourself, if you understand the message you're trying to deliver. It should be interesting to people because it's mean, that's what we like about art, no matter what medium it is. You know, you look at all these great artists in a museum, like the way they looked at the world was so different, and that's what made it interesting. They all had the same tools. They all painted a sunny day or an ocean differently.
Yeah.
And everything looks the fucking same because they saw one person go viral. Now they all want to fucking go viral so they can get fucking paid to be a content creator, and that's just not how it works.
And it's almost like a get rich, even if it works, it's a get rich quick scheme. It's not, there's no longevity in it.
No, because you're not building your own voice. I feel like I found my voice, and my voice is also constantly changing and evolving.
Yeah.
Find your voice. Don't copy somebody else's voice because it's working for them.
Yeah. And if you choose that lifestyle, gimmicks and trends, you're going to always have to follow the gimmicks and trends to stay relevant.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with doing the trends. There's so many TikTok trends I love, man. And dumb ways to die. I love that. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. It's just people like just eating shit. They're falling off of cliffs, you know, falling off of slides or like
bloopers.
Yeah, it's hilarious. I love these trends, but you know, they're just not for me. And as somebody who wants to be inspired by the content they consume, you know, I'm just setting out to create the content that I wished I could see from other creators. And there's a lot of creators out there who make great stuff, for sure.
Yeah.
There's just not enough of it. And, you know, I think I tell it a little differently.
Absolutely. Yeah. And something else you've been doing too is like a foodie page with your girl as well, right?
Yeah, it's my favorite thing.
The favorite thing out of everything.
Yeah, it's my favorite thing. The food page that me and my girl have is my favorite content to create. Because, boy, look at me.
Well, bro, you look good now. Like, you look a lot. Every year since I've seen you, you progressively looked better. But even from when I saw you, not when I saw you, because I've seen you since then, but last time you were on the show, like, you've completely changed your lifestyle in terms of health, right?
Yeah, man. You know, I've lost some loved ones due to health reasons, unhealthy eating. And, you know, also they say that being in a loving and healthy relationship makes you gain weight.
That relationship weight.
If you do, that's cool. You know, I gained my 5 to 10 pounds, but shit, man, I lost 40.
Sheesh, you lost 40 now.
Yeah, I think I met Sam when I was at like 252, 260, 250, 260. I think my heaviest, I was like 262, and I'm down to 211.
Wow, 211.
Yeah.
Congratulations, bro. Let me give you your flowers on that.
Thank you,
that's,
man.
That's amazing.
When your girl fine as hell, man, when she looks good, ain't no way I'm getting left for a motherfucker who's ripped, bro.
As soon as you got with her, you're like, let me hit the gym or what?
Nah, I was already on this journey. You know, at my heaviest, I was like 302, 305. My weights fluctuated depending on, you know, just what I was doing in my life, how much time I was able to allocate to going to the gym and getting healthy, what food options there were for, you know, that I could afford, you know, time that I had to cook, and diets. Diets just don't fucking work. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
I fucking eat anything I want, bro. Everything I want. Dude, losing weight is so simple.
What is the formula for you?
Eat less.
Eat less.
Eat less.
Lower portions.
Yeah, you can eat fucking anything you want. If you are consuming less calories than you are burning, you will lose weight. You can lose water weight by eating less carbs, you know, eating less sodium, but you're not burning fat. One of my favorite pages, actually shout out to him. One of my favorite pages is evidence-based training. It's this dude from Australia, and he preaches shit that I live by.
Is that on IG?
He's on Instagram.
Okay.
But he's huge on TikTok. Just
okay.
Huge dude, fucking ripped. Well, actually, he's not ripped. He's toned. He's cut. He's really, really cut. Good looking dude too, man. So you know, it's like this man knows what he's talking about.
Yeah.
Shit. I mean, if you look healthy, you look good. You know, and in no part of my life did I ever feel like I looked good.
Really?
Because I was confident.
Yeah, you've always had confidence.
I've always had confidence, but I never looked in the mirror, was like, this motherfucker look hella good. No, never.
Interesting.
Nah. I still don't feel like that, but I think I'm getting closer. I mean, bro, you're fucking ripped. I'm sure you look into the mirror. You be looking in the mirror like, That's that boy right there.
I think with that said, I appreciate that too. Thank you. I received that. I think it's a lifestyle type of thing. Just having been an athlete my whole entire life, it's just like, it's a part of me to be in a healthy and fit lifestyle. So it almost is a side effect of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And, I'm making strides to getting to that point. And that guy, evidence-based training, he preaches, just eat less calories. Like, going keto, it'll help speed up that process. Intermittent fasting, yeah, sure, that's fucking great. But all of these are just, I'm not a nutritionist or a scientist, dietitian, whatever. Fucking, I don't know what the fuck you call these people. Yeah. I ain't no doctor. But all of these, fad diets are just ways to get you to eat less calories. Even Ozempic.
Just in different languages.
Yeah. I have friends who are on Ozempic and they lose weight.
What is that?
It's just like an injection they use it for like diabetics to consume less food and less sugar intake or whatever. But it's an appetite suppressant.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I started out taking appetite suppressants, not Ozempic, but I take probiotics, I take fucking daily vitamins, fish oil, all these things. It helps me. But ultimately, if I take these things and I overeat, and in a week's time, I'm eating more calories than I'm burning, shit, I'm going to gain weight. It's so simple.
Yeah.
People say, eat more fats, less carbs. Don't eat fats, eat more carbs. Bro, there are more calorie dense food depending on, you could eat a cookie that has fucking 300 calories, or you can eat like a smaller portion of chicken and broccoli that probably has fucking less calories in your entire cookie, but you're going to feel full.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's so simple. Just eat less calories.
Yeah, you don't have to overcomplicate it, because once you overcomplicate it, that's what makes it harder for you to follow the diet in general.
Yeah. And then you hop off the diet where you weren't eating any carbs. When your fucking body starts consuming carbs and retaining that fucking water or all that extra sodium that you were fucking holding out on, you're going to be pissed. You're going to be like, fuck, my body is shocked again.
Yeah.
Just eat whatever the fuck you want, just less of it. It's so simple.
I love that outlook on it. You don't have to make it so hard for yourself.
No, man. I mean, I eat less red meat, but I mean, I love fish though. So it doesn't hurt me to fucking eat less red meat. But if I wanted a fucking steak, I'm fucking eating that steak, bro. And I hate the saying, what works for you doesn't work for somebody else. Bro, yes it does. Just if you eat less calories than you're fucking burning, I promise you it's going to work. There's not a single person in fucking existence who has consumed less calories than they're burning and has gained fucking weight.
It's like a fact. It's a scientific fact. Like, it's
bro. Like, yeah, I hate that saying, bro. Like, that might work for you, but not for me. Bitch, it's because you hungry.
Yeah, you're not truly doing it for yourself.
You fucking be eating, bro. Like,
yeah, we've all been there too,
bro. And like, as I'm still big, but as like an morbidly obese person,
morbidly obese,
dude, it's so simple.
Yeah,
and that's in that food page, man. I just get to indulge. I don't eat everything that you see on camera. I fucking box up half of it. Me and Sam eat the rest later. We just love good food.
Yeah,
and I'm not about to let a diet tell me what I can and can't enjoy because I want to be fucking pescatarian for weight loss purposes.
Yeah, just live your life, bro, too.
Bro. There's no way I'm giving up fucking raw fish. Got me fucked up. Hell no.
Yeah, and I mean, to go back to the foodie page, like, I've tried a few of the places that you put on there, and every time I'm just not disappointed. Y'all don't miss, like, at all on those recommendations.
Thank you. You hear that, babe?
Yeah. Listen, I'm a follower of the foodies page. What is it called? What is the handle?
I think we're foodies.
And
yeah. That came about because we're not foodies, but like we enjoy eating good food. And we'll be real, like if there's something that we didn't like or, that could have been better, like a better dish, we'll tell people, and we've said it.
Yeah.
It's like, this is what to order, this is what not. No, I don't say not to order, but if you prefer this will work for you.
It's such a dope thing to do with your partner too. You know what I mean? Like bonding over food.
Yeah, we love to eat, man.
You guys like the same shit, or is there something you guys don't necessarily agree on in terms of food?
Nah, we're pretty open to everything. The only thing I won't eat is like octopus.
Octopus.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't care for oysters. She wants me to really try oysters, but I'll try it for her. Shit.
Yeah.
I'm open-minded to it.
Why not?
Yeah.
What is it like being in a serious relationship for you now? How's that kind of shifted your
Man, that's such a crazy question.
life?
What's it like being in a serious relationship?
For
I
yourself.
never looked at it as I'm not saying it's not serious. It's just like, I guess it could be looked at as a serious relationship, but it's just a relationship, bro. Like, she's my fucking best friend. That's my life partner. That's my dog. And that's just somebody that I can see later down the line. Like, that's really my dog. Like, I love her.
Yeah.
There's no other way to put it. Like, I never looked at it as like, I want to be in a serious relationship with you, and I'm going to respect her and the relationship within like a serious relationship boundaries, but we just treat each other with respect. Prior to meeting Sam, my goals were always the same: saving up for my future kids' school, because we sending them to private school for.
Oh, you already started on that.
Ben.
Wow.
Yeah. You know.
That's how you break generational curses right there.
Yeah.
Let's go.
In an investment account, there is tuition just paid for already.
I love to hear that, King.
My goal was to just be the man, you know, like there's roles that men got to do, man. It's taking care of the family by any means necessary. And I was always prepared for that prior to meeting her.
Finally you met her.
Yeah.
Like you were prepared to meet that person. You just hadn't met that person yet. And now.
Yeah. I was always working towards those goals, and she just we happened to cross paths, and it worked out. We both don't drink.
Yeah.
It's incredible. You know, there's so many things that we align on culturally, views, and she just inspires me in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Love seeing her grow. We just push each other to be better versions of ourselves.
Yeah.
And that's what you want out of a partner, you know? It's not the lust that you would think when you were younger. Granted, she's hot as fuck, 10 out of 10, smoke show. but you know, there's so many greater things than just that.
That aren't surface level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She like pulled things out of me that I didn't realize that I had within me. But you know, we give each other the freedom to do as we please. You know, like she wants to go take a trip somewhere. She wants to go somewhere. Like, we not on no fucking, you need to tell me everything leash. Like, I trust you. You trust me. We're going to live our lives. Like, I believe in like the Venn diagram. Like, this is my life. This is her life. And we share the relationship in the middle. I think a lot of relationships falter and become boring or stale because their lives are just one life.
Yeah, you're still individuals within that relationship. That's very important.
She's got her goals and her aspirations that she's working towards, and I got mine. And if there's any way where we can help each other, you know, and the paths cross to push each other, then we will. But if not, it's like you don't want to lose yourself to one identity.
Yeah. Very well said. Man, I love this new stage for you, bro. I can tell like you got a good thing going for yourself with her and everything else that's going on for you right now. And as we said, bro, you deserve it all. So I'm glad to see that everything happening for you is coming to fruition, and all your work is continuing to pay off for yourself. And just how you look at life and how you take on these challenges, I think speaks a lot about yourself, and also like gives inspiration for people listening, people like myself. Like, there's been some monumental changes that have happened to you, whether it's with your father's passing, and I appreciate you being vulnerable about that on here as well. But for you to just take it in stride, you know what I mean? And obviously you probably grieved in your own way, but you know what I mean? To look at the silver lining in things and to have it motivate you moving forward, I think is a good example for others to follow, including myself.
Yeah, man, you have to. You know, being sad about something you can't change isn't going to help you. Yeah. I mean, feel your feelings, that you have to, but I mean, if you can't change some, learn, accept, adapt, move on. So, I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah, well said. Well, what do you have next going on for you? Anything you like to plug? Any like any work coming out soon or any collabs we should know about?
I think I'm plugging less of the people that I'm working with, and I just want people to watch the content that I make, the original content.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's just the TikTok. I haven't announced it yet. I originally wanted to do it anonymously, but starting food stuff, like food business.
It's food business.
Yeah.
What?
You know,
Let's go.
empanadas are
Empanadas.
usually seen as like a Spanish or a Latin food, right? South America or Spain, right?
Yeah.
Central South America, all that. Great. But you see, the Philippines was colonized by Spain. There's so many what's a word? It's not fusion, not inspiration. There's so many Filipino dishes that are derived from like Spanish descent because of the cross-pollination, that we have our own empanadas.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people don't know that
I
Filipino empanadas exist.
I didn't.
There is a Filipino empanada recipe passed down by my grandma, and both of my grandmas were actually chefs in the Philippines that had their own restaurants before they moved here. You know, when my dad passed, I got to try that empanada again. I was like, dude, this is life-changing.
Wow.
There's no way that the world should be held out you know, by these amazing empanadas. Sam tried it. You know, I had some friends try it, family try it, and they're just like, this is crazy. I learned how to make it, and we're going to step into the empanada business.
What? That's crazy. And it's got a story behind it, too.
Yeah, man. The name of it is Empa Mama.
Empa Mama. Let's go. I love that.
Yeah, because we called our grandma Mama.
Empa Mama?
Yeah.
That's what I love,
So
that
it's
name.
like empanada, Mama, Empa Mama.
It's kind of like how pho spots be having those
like fuck him long.
yeah. Having the like, if you know, you know.
Yeah.
Shit.
So stepping into that. So that's going to be a fun little adventure, you know, and these are all just darts at the dartboard.
Yeah.
If I don't hit a bullseye, at least I tried, man. I'm giving everything I got.
I love to hear that. And you also have a new LLC, a digital marketing new business as well, right?
Yeah, that too. Both brand new LLCs, new companies, trying this out this year.
Man, I don't know how you do it. You do a lot of things and
Time management.
Okay.
Time blocking. I'd wake up, make my schedule. Everything has a time.
And being intentional with that time.
Mm-hmm. If I don't finish it within that time, it's done. I got to try pick it up again the next day because I got other shit I got to take care of. But usually I finish it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man, a lot going on for you. A lot to watch out for. I'm excited to see what these turn into. Also, I'm going to plug this again. If you're not following AP on TikTok, you can kind of follow this entire journey that you're on that page. So continue to tap in there. I'm going to be tapped in, and man, we're going to do a round 4 sometime in the near future too, bro. So I appreciate you coming on here, dropping gems as always, giving free game, and thank you for just being who you are and allowing us to get a peep into your life.
Man, thank you again for having me, bro. It was fun.
Absolutely, man. Well, from Ambiance, Creative Ambiance, this is Levi, AP checking out for a third time. We'll see you guys next time.
Later.
Peace.